Hey everybody, welcome to Live at 5. My name's Jack.
I'm Jake.
That's Jake. All right. So,
Apparently, he is needed.
yeah. So, for those of y'all who might not have heard and were like wondering, what is he looking at? Someone made an announcement. And now that I think about it, even though we turn the speaker down when we do the show,
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard the announcement that bold before.
Oh, I have.
While we're doing the show?
Yeah.
Huh. I just tune it out. I don't know. I guess. Or I'm deaf. One of the two.
What?
What? Guitars? What? So, we got a handful of guitars we're going to go over today. And like we said last week, we are moving in the direction of thematic episodes, themed episodes. Thematic. It was a bigger word. No, not theatrical. Thematic. It's themed. It's planned. Planned is a very loose word, by the way. So today we're talking about, other than the fact that we know what we're talking about, there's no real plan to what we're going on right now. So, today we're talking about the Fender custom shops, specifically the Stratocasters. And we have a few hanging up here. And I've got one more that I couldn't fit on the wall, and I think I had one or two more in the back that I just couldn't find. Well, not that I couldn't find, but I knew the wall was full, and I didn't want to just sit here and be like, so this guitar, the whole time.
Well, that means we're gonna get more hooks.
Could have done it. More
get
hooks.
more hooks.
Higher, lower, everywhere. So, first off, this one is, I've got my little cards here, so I make sure we're talking about the right ones. Because, no one wants to talk about the wrong ones. So first up, oh, this one's cool. This one has this really nice aged purple sparkle. And when the guitar first came into our inventory, we had the hardest time trying to figure out the color because we just see the code in the description. And we're like, man, what does APS stand for? And we were all trying to figure it out. And then we just had the brilliant idea. I was like, why don't we just open it and find out what color it is? And we found
that's very easy to do.
I know, right? Aged Purple Sparkle. This is a limited edition 69 Strat. It has the Journeyman relic. The Journeyman tends to be some of the more popular relicing on the custom shops because it's not a brand new guitar, but it's not a heavy relic like this here. It's not going to be as worn in and beaten down like a heavy relic. The Journeyman is nice because it just looks like you've played it around a while. They have some dings and scratches in them, but nothing like the heavy wear and tear of a heavy relic or even just a regular relic guitar. It has an alder body, obviously a maple neck. This has hand-wound 69 pickups. And so for those who are curious a little bit more about pickups and what exactly that means, custom shop pickups are all hand-wound, but the wiring in these is wound to a degree, to a point to where it's going to best replicate the tone that came from the pickups and electronics from 1969. And then what's really cool about this guitar, which kind of stands it apart from some other custom shops, especially when it comes to these vintage, reissue type models, is this has the U-shape neck. So it's really nice. Custom shop stamp, custom shop neck plate. Very nice. The 69 limited edition aged purple sparkle Journeyman relic Strat. I'm going to skip over this one because I have the Traveler sheet from when it's in the build process, and so we'll go over that at the end because we got two guitars that I don't have little cards for, but instead I have the whole Traveler sheet. Next up then, this is kind of the exact opposite of all the other custom shops that we have. Not in the sense that it's not a Strat, but it's from the American Custom line. Well, you're like, obviously it's from the custom shop, but the American Custom line, they're nicer. When I say nicer, I mean they look new. They don't look like they've been, old, been worn in and relicked. These come out as nice as can be. High gloss, brilliant finish, amazing pieces of wood on the neck. It has locking tuners, like the modern style locking tuners. This has a oval C-shaped neck, but still a 60s profile. It has hand-wound 1964 style pickups, and it is a two-piece ash body. Yeah, you can see the seam in the back. It'd be really hard for me to show you the seam from here to camera just because it's a very thin line right at the back. But yeah, the American Custom, this has what's called the new old stock finish. And so what that really is just going to be is like, say you come into our shop, you come into Island Music, and there's a guitar that's been hanging out for 4 to 5 years. It does happen. Some of the, on the anniversary episode, we held up a couple guitars been laying around a while. The one PRS was from 2018, 2019. So some guitars, they just get missed and they just hang up for a while. And that's what the finish on this one, they're kind of, they're replicating that a little bit. But even so, it's really hard to tell. It still looks like a very mint brand new guitar, which is the case. When you were to pull out a new old stock finish guitar, it's gonna have that same kind of look to it. That was the American Custom. We're gonna keep on moving here. The next one is the Limited 57. This one's really cool. It doesn't get much classic, or how do I want to phrase that? There's nothing more classic than a black Strat with a maple neck, right? That's the better way to say it.
You good there?
I'm good. We're getting there. 2-piece alder body, which you're not going to be able to tell because the whole guitar is painted black. Texas Special pickups. Texas Specials are probably my favorite single coil pickups. And I'm saying single coil because if you look at it, it's just the greatest, easiest way to figure that out, single coil, 1 single row of magnets per pickup. So each pickup would be a single coil pickup. And this has a 57 soft V-shaped neck. If there were one custom shop Strat in our store, it's a lot of S sounds there. One custom shop Strat from our shop that I would shop and take home. Yeah? Anyways,
Sure.
It'd be this one. I love this guitar. It's a classic look. It is relic. It is not heavy relic, but it is relic, meaning how you can see there's some arm wear into the upper bout here. Dings and scratches kind of all over it. Where the cable would have been rubbing against this body since the 50s, it's wearing out there. On the back, they've gone as far as replicating some buckle rash, from when it hangs down, rubs against your belt there. The V-shaped neck, they even go as far as wearing in the back of the neck to where your hand has just been sliding up and down the neck, hitting all your notes. And then they go as far as even wearing in the fretboard, which is nice because it's, if a guitar's been being played since the 50s, odds are this is what it would look like. Yeah, so the Texas Specials, the V-shaped neck, a little bit of compound in it too. It feels nice. Yeah, if I were to take one, it'd be this one. Let me rephrase that. If I were to take a custom shop that I don't already have on layaway, it would be this one. The Limited 57 relic aged black Strat with the Texas Special pickups and a V-shaped compound neck. All right, here we are coming up next. Let me check my time. Oh, we're doing pretty good on time. Let's see. Ooh, we're getting into a heavy relic. This is nice. Is that this one? Yeah. The 62? Yeah, there we go. So, yeah. So this one is the faded aged. Is that 3-color? Yeah, 3-color burst. Gold hardware is always a cool look on Sunburst. It just kind of helps accentuate the burst itself because that usually shares some of the same tint in the color there. What's really unique about this guitar is you have 3 different style pickups. So if I'm in the bridge position, I'm in that nice high gain, twangy Texas Special sound. If I go into the middle, I'm getting a hand wound fat 50s. So think bold, punchy. And then if I'm in the top, I'm going the 69 Strat. Think warm, think driven, think a well-balanced tone. And what's nice is that it just kind of gives you the option to hit everything, especially when you hit, positions 2 and 4. It allows you to blend those pickups together in the neck and middle, and then the middle and bridge. So you get all kinds of cool tones out of this. Otherwise, it is the heavy relic, so there's way more relicing work done to this guitar than you would see on some of the others. You see the sides are worn in a little bit more. The top, instead of just being on the bout, you can see it's got some wear in the finish here from where your arm probably would be resting. It's hard to see, but there's some crackling in the finish, which is, very, very intentional. The rosewood fretboard is a little harder to show some of that patina and wear and tear that would come from the oils of your hands. And then the back of the neck, like on the other, is faded down. They actually do a really cool job on these because they make it so worn out to a point to where, like, if you're playing notes up here, odds are your hand's at an angle in some degree. So on the back of this neck, it's even worn out to the angle to what your hand is probably resting when you go to play those notes. And so it's a really cool transition from that thin nitrous lacquer to that satin finish that your hand would have worn it down to. And it's a very realistic and believable wearing on the finish there. So they did a great job on that. This was the 62 limited edition Heavy Relic Custom Shop Strat. Moving down my list here, we're going to jump into another Heavy Relic. This one is a 67 alder body maple neck, 64 pickups. But the difference on this one is we're going to see, I don't know if I've seen this on the others yet. No, this is just to this one, which is nice. It is a bound neck. So what is a bound neck? So you might notice when we do a lot of talks of like acoustic guitars, I talk about the binding that goes around the body and what kind of material that is. On some of our custom acoustics, usually it's a nice maple. On most of the other acoustics that we have in stock, they tend to be usually like a synthetic material, like a white or a black synthetic material. And that's the binding that goes around the body. And when you're binding, think of it as it's binding the top and the sides. So it's right there. So what Fender does on some of their guitars is they have a binding that goes up along the neck. So this has a cream binding, or like a, vintage cream kind of binding, but it's been worn out. Again, it's another Heavy Relic style. So you can see, on this one being the finish that it is, you might be able to see a little bit better, but you can see the crackling in the finish. You can see all the chips and dots on the back of it hitting against things over the years. More a wearing away of the finish, less of a buckle rash. The front of the guitar, same thing. Everything's worn down just to the bare original body of the guitar, the alder body. And this one has, you can see, the other one was a little harder to tell because you can't really relic the gold hardware very well. It doesn't take very well. But when you start messing with like nickel and chrome, you can do that very well. And so this one, you can see the aging on the hardware a little bit better. 64 style pickups, but it has a humbucker in the bridge. The neck fretboard has a little bit of wear to it, but like I said, a rosewood fretboard is a little harder to relic than a maple. And then on the back here, brilliant job on wearing in the back of the neck. You can see they've even aged the tuners, beat up the headstock a little bit. And then for those wondering, humbucker. So you have your single coil like we talked about in a couple guitars ago. Think of it as single row of magnets. The humbucker has your 2 rows. That's all I'll really dive into them now, just because I want to move on to the other things. But in other episodes, or maybe we'll do like a special video where we talk about and dissect what the purpose is of a single row versus dual row versus another style of single coil pickups called a P90. And then we can get into like mini humbuckers. And now I'm just on a big tangent, and we'll get into all that stuff later.
And Sustainiac pedals.
Yeah,
pickups.
Sustainiacs.
Now I'm...
Yeah. And then don't even get me started on basses. There's all kinds of different style pickups there. And then we can get into, so maybe we'll do an episode on different styles of pickups, and we'll see if we can get someone to chime in on that with us. But yeah, so these were the ones that we had already kind of had set up. We have like a special display for custom shops here in the store. And all the Strats I just talked about were already hanging up on that display. So they were real quick to just grab and put on the wall. But I pulled 2 out of the back that I'm very excited for because in one way or another, I don't think we've talked about these 2 on the live stream yet. Somehow I think they just came in, we processed them, we took pictures of them, we just put them back in the warehouse, and they just never made it to the stage to the live stream, which is unique because usually if a custom shop comes in, that same week that it comes in, we talk about it on the show. So I'm not sure how we missed these, but I'm glad I saw them because they're pretty cool, and I love when I get a chance to talk about the traveler sheets. So with every custom shop guitar, whether it be, well, specifically Fender, every Fender custom shop guitar, whether it be a Stratocaster, Jazzmaster, Telecaster, a bass, I think that's all they do custom shop. Jaguar, Bass 6, whatever it is, whatever model you get from Fender through the custom shop, you get this lovely black booklet. It comes with the certificate of authenticity with the date that the guitar was finalized. So the one that I'm going to show you on my right, your left, was finalized March 28th of this year. The model description and the serial number. And signature from the director of the custom shop, which is Chris Gumbleton. So I'm going to set this here, and we're going to go over this travel sheet a little bit, and then I'll pull out the guitar, and we'll kind of discuss it. So we're, tell you what, I'll just do both. Why not? So this one was really unique when I pulled it out because right off the bat, you might notice it has the big headstock. So that's a very time period-esque kind of thing. That's not a common thing. Fenders used to have huge headstocks. That's just what they were. And so when you see something like this, they put that on there, kind of like, you know, the relicking, the aging, the time period, correct headstock. And you might be thinking, that one is really beat up. So this is what's called a super heavy relic. And I don't even think I need to explain it. I think just from taking a look at it, you can see why it's called that. But let's see here. We're looking at a roasted alder body. This has the fat 60s hand-wound pickups. And we'll keep scrolling down here. Let's see, we just talked about the pickups. Oh, there's the neck. So maple roasted quarter sawn neck, early 60s truss rod action on it. So that's going to be down here. So your truss rod's going to be accessible from the bottom of the neck. Jumbo frets. And let's see, 63 Strat style. 9.5-inch radius on the neck. Fretboard wood is a AAA rosewood, so that's very nice. Very cool. So yeah, it's a 66 style Strat with a heavy relic finish. Very cool. And I think the color is aged Olympic white. And what was the last thing? And it has an anodized relict pickguard. So that's actually it's a metal pickguard. It's pretty cool. But yeah, this is unique. This is really cool. Limited, of course. So if you don't see this laying around anywhere you're scouring online, it's because we have it here. And so you should just be scouring our sites anyways. No one else's. And because we have the cool custom shop guitars. So found this in the back. I'm glad I found it. It's a really unique piece. This is the 66 big head Strat with the super heavy relic finish in the aged Olympic white. Here at Island Music. And then that one comes with a, because I've got the cases laying here, it comes with that Fender Deluxe black case that most of their Strats and Tellys come in. And then this is the other one. This here just screams 50s, right?
Sure. Wait. Yes.
Jake's like, yeah, okay, yeah, sure,
whatever.
whatever.
I didn't see what you picked up.
If you're playing surf rock, this is the guitar you need, right? Surf rock, rockabilly, they all kind of came out of the same wheelhouse. This is that tone. This is that guitar. Let's open this up here. So much to a point. Yeah, it's a 56 style Strat. This has what's called the Deluxe Closet Finish. And you might be thinking, Jack, that looks brand new. Well, the Deluxe Closet Finish, this is, think your relative had a guitar that never got played. They bought it back in the 50s. Somewhere in the 60s, they just stopped playing. And even then, they were never a real serious player. You know, bedroom player, tinkerer around the house, things like that. Maybe went to their buddy's house to jam every now and then. Well, then one day that guitar just gets put back in its case and left in the closet. That's what this is. If you get a chance to look at this close up, you can see there's crackling in the paint and along some of the gloss on the neck. But that's really it. There might be a little bit of aging on the plastics, but otherwise it's a brand new guitar. It's just the way some of these things go. You might inherit a guitar from someone one day and maybe it just wasn't heavily played and it's going to be in amazing shape. That's what this is designed to replicate. This has a two-piece alder body. It is like I said, the 56. Hand-wound dual mag Strat pickups. seafoam green, if you couldn't tell. And then let's see, let's get into the electronics. See, we talked about the pickups. It's strung with 10 to 46s, which is kind of standard. So nice. The neck. So the neck is a Flame AAA, which is nice. And you can, I hope you can see it pretty well in the camera. You can definitely see it close up. But you can see the figuring of the flame going across the fretboard. And then if I flip this over, you can see it in the back of the neck all the way up through the headstock. What they do for that, especially at AAA, they just take one blank, like chunk of wood, and just carve it down from there. So that's really nice. That looks really good. I like that a lot. Let's see. 50 style truss rods, so that's also going to be down towards the bottom of the neck under the pick guard. Narrow, tall frets, 9.5-inch radius, 59 large C style neck. Yeah, very comfortable kind of neck. I like that. I like a chunkier neck. It's easier for me to play. Yeah. This was really cool. I found this in the back earlier. I was like, we got to talk about it. I don't know how we missed it. This is a classic style, classic look, classic sound. Yeah, the limited dual mag Strat is what we're calling it. The aged seafoam green with that classic closet finish. Yeah, very cool. Glad we found that in the back and were able to talk about it. All right, so let me check my time here. All right, yeah, it's about time to wrap up. So the last one we just talked about, screams 50s, screams surf rock, screams rockabilly. I was gonna say psychobilly, but that's like a punk rock version of rockabilly. Like bands like Tiger Army, they're pretty good. So yeah, so that was the 50s style dual mag Strat with the seafoam green. And then going back down the line, we had the 67 heavy relic with the humbucker and the bridge. We had, I believe this was the 62. Yep, the 62 heavy relic with the Texas Special, the Fat 50s, and the hand-wound 69 neck pickup. Then, another 50 style Strat. We're looking at the 57 with the soft V-shaped neck with the 3 Texas Special pickups. That is your country chicken picking style Strat right there. That's the way to go. We had the American Custom and the new old stock finish. So this was the guitar that's, you know, replicated after all the guitars, replicated, designed after, whatever the word is. All those guitars that just kind of get left behind and hung around guitar shops. This is that. And it looks brand new. It's phenomenal. I mean, the guitar is brand new. What I'm saying is the finish, because it's a worn guitar. You know what I mean? These custom shop guys and their antics. And then we had the aged purple Sparkle. If I can get it out of the hanger. Strat. The aged purple Sparkle. Gorgeous guitar. Fun guitar. If you like guitars with cool finishes that kind of stand out, this is a really fun way to go. And then the other guitar that I pulled out of the back from the warehouse was the Olympic White Heavy Relic with the anodized pick guard. And this one had, what were the pickups on this one again? The Fat 60s. So very nice. Well, Jake,
Yes.
that's it. That's the Custom Shop Strat episode. Just kind of flew by them real quick. And we'll kind of highlight some of them over the next week and all that.
Yeah.
And then probably Monday, we'll launch next week's episode. I've got a couple ideas in mind, so we'll see where we're at. Keep an eye out on some cool things that we have coming up around the shop. Let me double check my time here. So coming up around the shop, we have events planned out for the next 3 months. We've got an event happening once a month for the next 3 months.
Okay.
We've got a couple sales coming up because we got a holiday coming up, so keep that in mind. And I think that's really all my announcements for now.
Yeah.
So come on in, check out some of these custom shop Strats. We've got all kinds of options for you. We have other custom shops as well, as like Telecasters and Jazzmasters. I know for sure we have in stock. But yeah, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week. I'm Jack.
I'm Jake.
This was Live at 5. See you later.